the counter surveillance, all this stuff is fresh in your mind.
Let's get to work.
But with Jennifer, they're like, oh my God, we need somebody to go to host, like right now. Hey, Jennifer, you need a rotation in the deal, right? So you can get promoted? Okay, go to coast. Can you go tomorrow? And they send her. She didn't know what the fuck she was doing. She didn't have any experience at all in operations. Zero experience in operations. She was brilliant and a great analyst, but they didn't train her to protect herself. And the next thing you know, we get this volunteer, and he's Bin Laden's doctor. And oh my God, it's amazing.
El Belowy.
Yeah, Belowy. And so this is going to be the greatest source we've ever had against Al Qaeda. And it just fell into our lap because he just volunteered. And let's bring him onto the compound. And then they learn, well, it's his birthday, right? So we're going to bake him a cake. We're going to bake him a cake and sing happy birthday. Oh, you know what would be a better idea? Let's meet him outside the hard line. Let's meet him where we can't be protected. Because that'll show him how much we like and how grateful we are for his information. And we'll give him the cake. So everybody leave your posts and let's all go out to the car. As crazy as this is so far, gets out of the car and he's muttering to himself, and that wasn't alerting to anybody?
What does that mean again?
In the name of God, the merciful and compassionate, there is only one God and he is God and Muhammad is the messenger of God. Yeah, that's not what you want to hear when they're standing there with a fucking birthday cake. And then he blows everybody up. It was the worst. It was the worst deadly attack in CIA. We lost more people that day than in any other day in the history of the CIA.
It's like, what?
Want some more? Too late to back out now.
So you were out. I was out. I was at ABC News then doing
What's the matter?
counterterrorism commentary.
Got it. That's where your timeline picks up. But so you were with her though on that desk.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
What was that desk like?
Is he?
Yeah. Where what kind of leads were you getting on him? 'Cause no one knew at that time.
No, most of what we were getting was shit. You know, you get, when I was at Pakistan, I used to get these people all the time, walk-ins.
Yep.
So a walk-in is somebody who literally walks in on the street and says, I have intelligence that I want to share with the CIA. Okay. 98% of the time, it's a lunatic, right? 1% of the time, it's either what's called an intelligence peddler, which is somebody who actually has a nugget of interesting information. And he brings it to you, and you give him $100. But then he goes to the British embassy, and then the French embassy, and then the Russian embassy, and then that's a month's
You gotta
salary.
make a living.
Yeah, legit. The other 0.5% is what's called a probe. So this is usually Iranian. It can be Hezbollah or North Korean. And they'll come into the embassy like this. They'll be like, yeah, I have information I want to give to the CIA. We'll call it CIA guy down here for me. And they're looking like, where are the cameras? Are the doors armored? Are the windows armored? How many of the people I'm dealing with have guns? Can I see the true name of anybody on their badge, or have they obscured their badge? How many checkpoints do I have to get through before I'm actually inside? So in the event that they want to attack our embassy at some point and blow it up, they've got a design on how to do that. That's why we keep them outside the hard line. Only in the smallest embassies do you bring them in. But otherwise, you know, I'll meet you at that shack in the parking lot, because you're not coming here.
Man, this one might be tough.
Want some more?
1% is the real deal. And the old timers who worked against the Soviets will tell you that the greatest sources in the history of the CIA started as walk-ins. Because they're so deep down into the weeds that you would never encounter them. You're not going to meet those people at some diplomatic cocktail party, right? You're not going to meet them anywhere officially.
Watch yourself.
Like, are you going to meet a North Korean nuclear scientist at a cocktail party? Of course you're not. But he may just walk up to the embassy and knock on the door. That's a career-making recruit. And so when they saw Malawi, he's pretending to be, well, I'm not sure I want to do this. Well, but maybe I should because 3,000 Americans were killed. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this. He played it just right, and they were so excited because this was the first major source that we had, akin to what we once had against the Soviets. This is going to make people are going to get medals. They're going to get promoted. This is going to be incredible.
Where did you guys, when you were on the desk, or whatever, somewhere in there, where did you guys think you went? Where was your inkling?
Bin Laden?
Yeah.
It was pretty well split. I thought he was in Afghanistan. And I just didn't think he had the wherewithal to get out from Tora Bora. I thought that he would hunt. And then the other half believed, he's probably in Pakistan. It's probably like right on the border somewhere. We didn't realize he had gotten so far in. And he's staying at, what was effectively the west point of Pakistan. Crazy. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's
You must enjoy the taste of defeat. Fuck.
Any regrets now? You should have stayed.
Rocked. Go rock 'em, sock 'em, bro.
Get up! I'm ready.
Can I go back to John Kerry?
You can
for
do
one
whatever you
minute?
want, John.
You've just reminded me of something, or I've reminded myself of something.
He asked me like I'm gonna say no, fuck you.
One of the things I told Kerry early on, he told me, hey, we need to come up with some investigations. This is when I thought he actually meant it, before I learned better.
Yeah.
And I said, are you planning any international travel? And he said, yeah, I want to go to Pakistan and Afghanistan. I said, okay, I'll go with you, Pakistan and Afghanistan. But I think what we should do is the doctor
Did you forget our
that led us to Bin Laden. Do you remember the story of the doctor? We recruited a Pakistani doctor to go to Abbottabad. Let me back up. So we've got drones, and the drones are flying over Abbottabad. We had a source who said, hey, there's a guy in Abbottabad, and he's really tall, and he just wants to surface the backyard. Never just wants to surface himself. So it's been on. And we said, maybe it is. Maybe it is. But another thing that's interesting about this house that he's in is most of the houses have 8-foot tall walls around them. You don't want to be
Oh my God.
Right? You have walls around them.
Yeah, you gotta keep that protected.
This wall around this house is 20 feet. It's not 18. So, and this tall guy in white just walking in a circle.
Fucking ain't enough. Someone's in there.
Right? So, this is somebody, whoever it is. It's not Bin Laden, it's somebody. So, what we did is we recruited a doctor, and a Pakistani doctor. And we said, we want you to go to Abbottabad, go to this neighborhood, and give free polio vaccines. But as you're giving the polio vaccine, take a little DNA test.
No, somewhere RFK is going. This is how they catch you. They come up with bullshit. And you're fucked. You got plotted.
So, the Bin Laden family was deeply ashamed
What of
of
opponent?
what Osama had done. So they offered us their help. And we said, well, what would be nice would be a DNA sample. So in case we kill him and we blast him to 1 million pieces, we could pick up a piece of meat and run a DNA test and confirm that it's him.
That was a nice flex you just did, by the way. That was why I laughed.
Hey, playing the music.
I listened to the first half of Andrew Tate on Patrick Bet-David's podcast.
Oh yeah, well, how was that?
How
How do you feel about Tate coming back?
Interesting one, dude. He's currently being subpoenaed, investigated something by the state of Florida.
Yeah.
Just opened up some warrant type thing for
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
I think it's a bit of a brave call from the US to do that at like this time. You're like, yeah, come on over when we're talking about worries about trafficking and migrant. The UK's got lots of concerns about grooming. Like, you can say what you want about the validity of the case around Tate.
Yeah. Speaking on something that I really like, which is there are facts, and then there is emotional reactivity. Optics is what you're talking about. And people are emotional; they just react. They see, and it's important to meet them there. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be an idea of who you are from people who don't really know you. Casuals on the internet might see a single clip, and that idea that they have, maybe it's wrong, but just going, "Oh, you're wrong," and writing it off isn't how you're going to address a bigger problem. This is what Ben Shapiro gets it 100% back. He says facts don't show. Yeah. This one in particular. Yeah. Right. Yes. Not giving a fuck about the person. He's like an autistic robot. Like, he doesn't understand. He caught a great grab on plates of Christians, and now that he no longer has societal utility, he's like really struggling. Like, societal utility is oftentimes what can make people powerful.
Are those your best moves?
He rose to fame at a time where conservatives felt like really scrutinized just for their beliefs. And a lot of them just didn't have the arguments to defend their positions, right? They grew up in cities and states where it was normal to be conservative. Then all of a sudden, there are these other places like, I can share this? Can I say I'm conservative?
Haven't you had enough?
To be conservative. Then all of a sudden, he's like this really obviously smart, Harvard-educated arguer. He's like a really good arguer at developing ideas and putting together these arguments. They're like foolproof. And he handed them off to those people. But now, being conservative is more popular than being Democratic.
Yeah, just like I was saying earlier on about, you can speak truth to power and be that sort of, it's almost like rock starry, like kind of like rebellious, anarchistic type thing. It's like, it's just the kind of positions most people hold now around a lot of it. We should be careful about what we're doing to teenagers.
Yeah.
We should probably
Put that down.
So now that it's been born, he no longer has the same society. Then Israel-Palestine happens. Now the base doesn't agree with them. And now they're like, well, we don't need the arguments. It's like, no one be conservative now. It's like, anything. Democrats need the arguments. Right? So now they're like, and we don't agree with you on Israel-Palestine. Man, fuck out of here.
What do you think about the...
Drop the weapon, madam. No freaking way!
You're allowed to say whatever you want. We believe in all those things. So, like, there's no question whether you have to let it back. Of course, we'll get that back. Now, the official, he's an American citizen. You have to protect American citizens. Just because he hasn't been convicted of anything. So, he hasn't been convicted of anything. He's an American citizen. You have to protect our citizens. You're allowed to say what you want. You know those things. So, like, there's no question whether you have to let America back. Of course, you have to let America back. Now, the emotional reaction is talking crazy shit about America, and then we get flipped over there in Romania, now you talk about that. So I need you to acknowledge you wrote it. I don't need you talking crazy shit about America, and then when you get flipped over there, thing. So he hasn't been convicted of anything. He's an American citizen. We have to protect our citizens, and you're allowed to say whatever you want as an American. So we believe in all those things. So like, there's no question whether you have to let an American back.
Oh, man.
Back. Now, the emotional reaction is we're talking crazy shit about America, and then when you get flipped over there in Romania, now you're coming back to daddy. So I need you to acknowledge who the GOAT is. I don't need to talk about the West is and America's bad and the West is falling. Why are you coming back to the fall? Like when it got rough, they were locking you and your brother up, probably wrongfully. I don't know. He's not convicted. Like if there was enough to convict, they would have convicted, right? But you came running back. So I need you to at least acknowledge why you came running back.
There's definitely an amount of irony around saying, "It's the best." I love Romania. I love Romania. Why did you move to Romania when you first moved to Romania? I love Romania because it's paid the police off. The law's basically done exist, and you can get anything that you want. And then 5 years later, like 3 seconds later, it's being like, this country's so corrupt and the police don't really seem to know anything. It's just roosting.
That's the thing. I think that's the thing right there. Like obviously he's a phenomenal communicator, and he understands culture. He understands like trends that are popping up. I'm not talking about like a trend like wearing clothing. I'm talking about like I see a lot of people in the trends. Like what people actually what people fucking tap. There's no question. But there is a part of me. It is like talk crazy shit about America. Now you're coming back. You got me. I need to know, like,
No way.
everybody. A lot of people gave Brittany Griner shit.
Ah.
Got arrested in Russia, right? They gave her a lot of shit for like kneeling for the anthem.
You want
and
some
then
more?
asking America to help her to get back. Where's the Brittany Griner treatment?
What's the matter?
Like, where's this Brittany Griner and her now? People are emotional, so it doesn't really matter. They're like, I can look past that because he's satisfying these other concerns that I have emotionally, and he's voicing it in the most eloquent way, and he's really basically just seen and heard. So they'll look past this other thing. But to me, I'm looking at this Brittany Griner. Now, I want Brittany back. You know, should she have had the weed in her fucking thing? No, don't bring fucking a weed man into Russia. You know that they might try to use this as for some political leverage in this situation. It's annoying. You shouldn't have fucking done it. You put America in a position where we got to get you back to Nicolas Cage back in the movie, right? You have to get Nicolas Cage back because Brittany Griner, right? But at the end of the day, she's an American. And if an American gets clipped, we're gonna ride for our boys, our girls. Yeah, traveling should be about
Are those your best moves?
the pleasure of the trip and not the stress of packing. That's why I'm such a huge fan of Matic. This travel pack, 14 weeks travel pack, is what I wear every single day. It is the biggest game changer. It genuinely makes spending your day looking at your possessions around infinitely more important. Comments for everything, your laptop, the shoe, the sunglasses, so well organized that even your toothbrush will feel important. It's like the Marie Kondo of luggage, everything. Got into place, and if you're still on the fence, that product's got a lifetime guarantee, so this is the last time you'll ever need to buy it. It's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if you buy it,
My God.
like it, get money back. Right now, you're getting 20% discount of everything from Nomatic by going to the link in the description.
Again?
Nomatic.com/modernwisdom and Mission International. That's nomatic.com/modernwisdom. Thank you very much for tuning in. Enjoy that clip. Well, the entire episode is available right here.
She has a weapon!
From destroying Bill Maher on the podcast, one of the best things you did for society to the kids, to humiliating one of his best friends. Do you wear one of these things, sir, because you're ashamed of yourself? Here are 9 times Bill Burr disciplined, disrespectful comedians, starting with Joe Rogan, who mistakenly interrupted Bill's COVID rants to provide questions. The whole time has been an asshole on my street, walking around no mask. I don't want people walking down the street with a mask on. Let's not start this, please. Let's not start this. Okay, let's start. I have Bill instantly shut down any counters on this tape. I don't want to start this. Well, I'm not going to sit here with no medical degree, listening to you with no medical degree, with an American flag behind, smoking a cigar, acting like we know what's up, better than the CDC. While he was exemplifying his point even further, Bill sneaked a cordial jab. Oh God, you're so tough with your open nose and throat. 5 o'clock shadow. This is a man right here. That man doesn't wear a mask. Well, when Joe contradicted himself about the pandemic, that was the thing that I had at one point in time.
Man.
Bill School Rogan the only way he knew how.
And